Hi, I'm recording. So I think what I'm going to talk about is motivation number 1, which is called fear. We'll see what comes out of me. I have nothing prepared. I'm not a preparation person. I have a right mind, so my fear is to the right. And fear, it's a 1. You know, wherever you see a number in a chart, there's a resonance to that number wherever you see that number. So a 1 is a 1 is a 1 is a 1. What do we know about ones? Some of the keynotes are security, safety, foundation, investigation. I'm sure you're thinking of more that I'm not thinking of in this minute. How I see my motivation working is that I get to the bottom of things. Foundation, that's a phrase that is used in English, get to the bottom of it, which means get to the base, get to the foundation, get to that strong foundation that you can stand on and come up from there. One of the ways I've seen that working out in my life is with studying human design. I never decided to study human design. I never decided to talk about it or teach it or any of those things. I started listening to Ra. And if you've listened to Ra, you probably have seen that he can be talking about this and then he's talking about something over here. And so I would hear, that over here bit and go, I need to know about that. I need to get to the bottom of that. I need to get to the bottom of that. And so I just started going down this rabbit hole of human design, getting deeper and deeper and deeper to have something to stand on to come up from. And so what that has offered me is an ability to not have to memorize anything, because with my right mind, I don't do that anyway. But when I understand something from that foundation of it, then I can extrapolate out from there. So that's how I see my motivation working for me, one of the ways. Another way is, I travel all the time, except not now because COVID has stranded me. But I don't have a home and I travel pretty much all the time. I'm a pet sitter and I love Europe and I love taking trains in Europe. And so that's my great joy in discovering new places. And I've noticed that when I'm traveling and I have to be on edge, alert, aware, alert's another good word for the 1, I feel more connected to my own self and my own process. When I'm just in the same place, doing the same thing, with way too familiar surroundings, I can become complacent. But when I'm in a new place and things are different and I have to be alert, there's an experience I have in my being, even in my body, that's like, let's do it, let's find out, let's discover. Now, I will say, I also have a 2946, which loves that process of discovery. And my body is in the 2. Now, a lot of times, I would go so far as to saying most of the time, but not always, the number you have in the motivation, you have 1 number up in the PHS. So 1 motivation, a 2 PHS. And whereas a keynote for the 1 is certainty and security, not that it starts out having that, but that's what it would like. The keynote for the 2 is the uncertainty, the possibilities. And so that plays into this experience. I get alert, my personality gets alert, looking where it's going, and my body's like, it's all possible. What's coming? What's new? What can be on its way to me? Now, the thing about motivation is that it's also your outer authority. I've heard some people say it's only outer authority, but I see it as me being correct with myself, as well as me offering something to the other. The outer authority is what we are here to offer the other. And so what I've seen is that I can see when people do or do not need to be afraid. Usually it's when they don't. I see people just getting really upset about something that isn't needed to get upset. Well, I just switched over to a different keynote because the transference is needed. So we'll take that word out. That it's not necessary to get scared about something. And I can help people get to that foundation, get to the bottom of things so that they don't have to be afraid. And especially I've noticed this with the friends that I have with that motivation 4, which is called need. They can just get afraid of things that make no sense to me to have fear about them. Whereas when I transference from the fear to the need, I call myself whiny baby pants, instead of, I love laughing at myself, instead of getting to the bottom of things and getting a strong foundation and getting solidly in myself, I'm like, oh my God, this happened and I need help and who can, and when, and that's the whole, that's my transference. And I used to spend a lot of time there. Happily, I don't spend as much time there. But in the personality side, there's always going to be that range. So I can feel that coming up in me. As a general statement, the 1, 2, 3, the lower hexagrams, it's important to be self-referencing for your motivation. And the 4, 5, 6, you can look to others to see how they impact your motivation. So I'm especially needy when I think I need someone to take care of me. Whereas the 4 can alleviate their fear by having help and getting back to, what do I just need? What's the next step? What's just the very next step right now? I just put this nail polish on. I don't think I really like it, but my nails got all short and I wanted to protect them. I just sidetracked my very own video. Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to say. Let's see if I'm going to remember it. I don't. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the other thing about motivation is that you have a trajectory. And apparently not everyone gets on their trajectory, and that there's often a mystical experience that precedes getting on the trajectory. And I'm not going to go into what I think mine was. I am someone, the 2 keynotes for the trajectory of the 1 are separatist and communalist. And the left mind, so that's a left variable, is here to be a communalist. You can think of that, if you want to, as in the 7-centered world, communalism was how people kept safe, right? We're talking about safety after all. Live together in a tribe, live together in a castle, come together to be stronger, to withstand whatever forces might be coming. The right, which is me, is a separatist. And indeed, I feel stronger when I'm on my own. And I find it actually at this point very uncomfortable to be in groups of people whose purpose is to kind of come together to be a group. Ra, when he's talking about this, he uses a word that's so strong, and I can't remember what it is. It's like abhorrent or something for the separatists to be brought into some communalist situation. And the trajectory is you're going to start on the side of the opposite of your variable. So I would start as a communalist, and slowly by slowly I've been becoming more and more and more of a separatist. So I spend a lot of my time with me and walking around when I can, walking around new places and getting to know new places and getting to the foundation of what's there for me and who I am in that new place. So I think that's all I'm going to say right now about my right-minded motivation that's called fear.